Cool, I'm going to be doing a video today on NFTs and something that came up in Twitter Spaces that I was on recently, which was quite an interesting point. I'll keep this video relatively brief. I say that, but then sometimes I ramble. Anyways, right now within the NFT space, we're kind of slowly but surely realizing and filtering out all of the different utilities, basically what these NFTs are actually useful for. We're filtering them out, and before we used to have loads of hype and FOMO and everything, and everyone would want to jump in and buy these NFTs. But over time, obviously, as liquidity has dried up and crypto prices have shot down, people have started to realize and be much more safe and risk averse with their investments, right? So they're not just jumping into any old NFT project. The project actually has to be good. Now, what does it mean to be a good project? Well, basically, a good project is anything that's actually trying to build brand or trying to have some kind of use case for the future, right? And when I say use case, really it's this process right now where we're kind of filtering down and filtering through what these use cases actually are. I think 6 months ago, or even 2-3 months ago, just before we had this crash, NFTs were very much just about, raising money, and it was very much about how can this NFT in and of itself be its own business. And I think people are slowly but surely realizing that NFT itself shouldn't be the business. An NFT project isn't a business. An NFT project is just a mechanism to raise funds to be able to build a business. And I think when people start to realize that a lot of these projects, 99.9% of these projects, don't actually have any kind of business model in terms of what are they doing to actually generate revenue aside from secondary royalties, these businesses and NFT projects are going to fail. And we're starting to realize slowly but surely that a lot of these NFT projects, their actual use case isn't necessarily the NFT itself, but the NFT, what it actually stands for is basically it's a reward mechanism for showcasing who was here early, who believed in this project early, or who believed in this project, and who are the community members within this project, right? I think now that we're filtering through like the actual use cases, people are starting to realize that that's what NFTs can actually be used for. They're not the business in and of itself. You take a brand like, for example, Bored Ape, Cool Cats, Doodles, etc. These guys are clearly branching out from the NFT itself. The NFT is just the very starting point that goes, cool, who believes in our vision of this project or product, or whatever it is that we're trying to build? I'm going to buy into it. Now that I've bought into it and raised all this money, how am I actually going to build a business, right? And the NFT itself is this small amount, because you can't just keep releasing new drops and kind of have like a glorified Ponzi scheme where everything is just a new drop and you're kind of giving them a token and this, and it's constantly going on. Like, there's got to be a point where people start to actually deliver an actual product that makes people's lives better and easier. And I think we still haven't really seen that within the whole NFT space. Those brands though, they're basically gone, cool, this is the initial NFT that you're going to get, and this buys you into our ecosystem, right? Or this showcases that you are an early adopter of this particular brand. And then we're going to build a bunch of other stuff. So you take Bored Apes, for example, or Cool Cats, for example. I saw a lot of people after NFT NYC saying, Cool Cats can actually, they could go on to start a whole, clothing line for sort of like, it's obviously, it's like a very fun, upbeat type of color scheme and that kind of like vibe. So, you could have like fluffy toys, and you could have a theme park, and you could have a restaurant, and you could have like all of these different things, which are actually businesses that generate revenue, not just here's an NFT that is specifically for, a small audience within Web3, because there's only about 1.5 million people within the NFT space realistically, with the amount of wallets that are registered. And again, you take Bored Ape, they could go music festivals. There's also the IP side of things with Bored Apes. So there's a lot of stuff that can be done, but I think my point of this whole video is the NFT itself isn't a business. The NFT just gives you access to what they're building and showcases and rewards people for being early adopters and early supporters. That's what the use case is, kind of almost as if it's been a filter this past year and a half of all these NFTs, and now we're starting to understand, okay, what's the NFT actually for? Because you can only do so many drops. You can't just keep releasing. but that NFT is going to give you access to the ecosystem, and then from that ecosystem, you know, they're going to then build their entire business. But a project that isn't veering outside of just NFTs and they're just focusing on NFTs isn't going to do well, because when demand dries up, how on earth are they going to make more money? They can't just continuously release a bunch of stuff. They have to build some kind of product or service that helps improve people's lives and makes things easier for people. So brands that are looking to actually do that and build out these different businesses and music festivals and all this other kind of stuff, they're the ones that are going to win, because they're actually building, they're generating revenue. These other ones that aren't focusing on that, they're not. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. It was just a quick thought, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.